Nicotine is the deadliest and most addictive drug of all. It doesn't damage the fabric of society in the way that alcohol and other drugs do, but in fact it kills more people than all other drugs combined. And in fact, cigarettes kill more Americans each year than alcohol, cocaine, heroin, fires, car crashes, homicide, suicide, and AIDS combined. It's the single largest preventable cause of death in America, and yet we sell cigarettes in pharmacies, in candy stores, to children.
There is no major controversy among health authorities, and they have every reason to tell us the truth and no reason to lie. The cigarette industry, on the other hand, has lots of reasons to lie, not the least of which is their record profits. The Philip Morris Company, for example, the seller of Marlboro and Virginia Slims, will take profit estimated at more than $5 million, not this year, not this quarter or this month, not even this week, but today, $5 million today. And it's estimated that about half of that is profits that come from customers addicted as children. Cigarette companies spend over $3 billion a year promoting smoking. So how is this enormous amount of promotional spending justified? The purpose of cigarette advertising and promotion is, of course, ultimately to promote sales and profits. And this is done by influencing perceptions and attitudes towards cigarettes. Cigarettes themselves are defined by company documents as an ideal drug delivery system because it's portable, convenient, self-administered. I've heard people add to that definition, it has a fire at one end and a sucker at the other. People's health concerns used to be directly addressed with words. Play safe. Smoke this brand. This brand is just what the doctor ordered. Filters have always been advertised to make them look safe, even though in fact there is no such thing as a safe cigarette. Now, ever since the days of motivation research, we've stopped using words and have been much more reliant in the advertising on pictures. Pictures have tended to replace words, and they are literally pictures of health most of the time. Bold and lively behavior is commonplace, sometimes with risk-taking thrown in, and almost always in pure and pristine environments. Now, these ads are very carefully researched to get just the right picture of health. When some Canadians saw this ad, the research indicated that their thinking ran like this. Surfboard, that might be heavy. Oh, it might get out of breath, lungs, cancer, uh-oh. So the ad was very carefully revised to sit the man down. The trick here is to see just how much of a picture of health you can get away with without getting people to think. The success of pictures and images over words is that seeing is believing, and there's less what we call counter-arguing. When you see lots of these pictures, your judgment about the healthiness of smoking is biased by all of this experience and seeing all of these countless smokers who look so healthy.
For one thing, when you're selling a product that kills people, you have to recruit new users. A basic fact. And in fact, this is what it's really, the advertising is about. The nicotine industry has to get 4,000 children to start smoking every single day simply to replace those smokers who die or quit. They're in the business of getting children addicted to nicotine. Now, if you were selling an addictive drug to children, what would you do? First of all, of course, you'd want to get their attention. And this has been one of the most successful advertising campaigns in the history of advertising. This cartoon camel, Old Joe, is now as recognizable to 6-year-olds as is Mickey Mouse. 1/3 of all 3-year-olds can link this cartoon camel with cigarettes. When this was Camel's campaign, several years ago, of smokers under the age of 18, less than 1% smoked Camels, less than 1%. Since this campaign, which began in 1988, of smokers under the age of 18, 33% smoke Camels. That's how successful this campaign has been. So basically, anyone who smokes Camels has really been had by the advertisers. In recent years, in the past 20 years probably, there have been many cigarettes designed exclusively for women, such as Eve, More, Now, Max, Satin. Almost all of these ads equate smoking with sexiness, with glamour, with sophistication. But in the case of women, they do that with men, of course, as well. But in the case of women, they play on two other themes, often simultaneously. The theme of liberation and independence, of course, which they also do with men. And for women and girls, the theme of weight control. But no one has taken this to a greater extreme than Virginia Slim's Super Slim's Fat Smoke is History. And it says, it took Virginia Slims to create a great-tasting, ultra-thin cigarette that gives you more than a sleek shape. The truth, of course, is that cigarette smoking is a dangerous addiction deliberately promoted by a callous industry that cares only for profit. If you smoke, you're not expressing your individuality, you're allowing yourself to be manipulated by a very powerful industry.